Hello, everybody. It is Joe. How you doing? A little bit out of breath. I just finished my 80 push-ups for today. I did 80 in 5 sets, not my goal of 4, which I did hit yesterday. And I would like to welcome you to the golden hour. You can see a bit of gold there in the background. I'm in one of my favorite places to record, which is Zephyr Park here in Zephyr Hills, Florida. And yeah, I want to talk about effort. I want to talk about when we push ourselves, how we try to measure effort. For example, I could measure effort in how many push ups I can do each day or in how many sets. But did I try harder yesterday or today? I don't know. Did I really push myself hard yesterday and then wear myself out so that today was harder? Or was I in a different psychological space that only made it seem harder? Obviously, it's hard to quantify effort. I try to look at it in the long view, not how I'm going to be today or tomorrow or even this week, but how I'm going to be in a month or how I was a month ago, or years. It's harder to take that long view, but it's a lot less stressful. I know that a month from now, I'm going to be doing an amazing job with my push ups, and I'll probably be to 100 in another month, I reckon. That being said, a month ago, where was I? Certainly under 50. I don't know where I was. Maybe somebody who watches these videos incessantly could let me know, but I think it's 75 or so. No, I meant to say 45 or so. Anyway, still gaining my composure here. I do meditate between my push-up sets, which is interesting and helps me calm down and is a really good way to do heartbeat meditation. Also, when I'm a little bit worn out, I'm less likely to enter a mental space and bring in a whole lot of new thoughts. Of course, I do bring in new thoughts. I'm certainly not skilled at leaving them alone when I meditate, but I still do find my mind is clearer when I exercise because it has to be. I'm putting all of my energy into the exercise. And for a few minutes after that, my mind is in a similar state. So, I do enjoy push-ups meditation, back and forth. That's a fun way to be. So, effort. Should we try hard? Should we put in effort? Some teachers I know say that when you come off try hard or when you look like you're making an effort to please people, that you come across needy and not as valuable or as confident as you could. Other people will say that trying hard is the key to getting everything you want in life. Other teachers, warn us not to get involved in efforting. I'm thinking of Abraham Hicks in this case. Says, avoid efforting, don't try and force things to happen. Her advice is instead of efforting to push something to make it happen, if you got to push really hard on something, it's probably not the right direction. It's probably a better way. And what she was saying was use a small amount of effort just to get yourself into a good feeling place, just to get yourself into a place where you can align yourself with easy, high leverage activities. I'm still working on the concept of leverage. A lot of people use that word in a lot of different ways, which is kind of how I get stuck with it. And I don't know which person is using it in which way. Of course, you know that if you use a lever to move something, you can have a lot of force. You can, say you're using a lever to, lift a car jack. the jack on the car moves up, I don't know, a quarter of an inch when you move the handle through 1.5 feet or so of space. The idea is that, of course, it's easier to lift the car up when you've got that leverage, when you've got that long handle. It's not going to lift up very far, but it's not going to be difficult. So you're exchanging distance for effort. Just picking up a car a quarter of an inch is really hard to do. You just, put your hands under there and try to squat or lift it or whatever. That's really hard to do. But if you lift a car with a jack, it's easy. So what I'm thinking of is, how do we use leverage in our lives? Of course, it's better to work smarter than harder. That's what they say. Some people will build leverage by hiring other people to do jobs that they do in their business. Say you're an entrepreneur and you hire someone to, at a lower wage than yourself to do certain tasks so you can go do other tasks and build a business. Okay. But what do we do when it's just us? What do we do when it's just a one-person business, or a one-person meditation habit, or a one-person exercise habit, or a one-person goal of manifesting great things in our lives? How do we create leverage? How do we work smarter and not harder? That's a good question. And you'll tell people always say, "Ooh, that's a good question," when they don't know the answer. And I can take a stab at this one, but this is what I think we need to work on as a community. Feel free to leave some comments either on the YouTube or on the website. The web address, as always, is joeneely.net/goldenhour. And let's talk about this, because how do we create leverage, in our own life? I create it by building up my push-up habit slowly, right? Just like the jack on the car. If I move the handle through a distance that's large, the part that lifts up the car goes up a tiny bit. And that's the exchange that you make, is you put in a small, manageable amount of effort and get a little bit of result. And you put a small, manageable bit of effort in again, move the handle of the jack up and down another few times, again and again, through that space of a foot or two, up and down, your jack in the car. And you're only getting a little bit each time, but those add up. So I think that that's part of leverage, is making a small gain and keeping it. The jack wouldn't work if you couldn't keep that little bit of gain you made. That's the wonderful thing about it. You jack it up a notch, and then you start there to jack it up another notch. You don't start from zero every time. So maybe that's momentum. Maybe that's being steady. Certainly doing my recording, talking to you habit, and doing my push-up habit and my meditation habits and all those. Certainly those are stronger for doing them every day, to where they just become a part of my life. They're just what I do every day at this time, during the golden hour, during 4:34 to 5:34 p.m. At least that's what it is. That's what it was yesterday. For those of you who understand astronomy, let me know about this, but it appears like when you get close to the solstices that the sunset time doesn't change much. It seems like it's been 4:34 for a long time. I mean, maybe it's 4:33 today. I haven't checked, but it's been 4:34 for like a week. So I'm wondering if, when you get near the edge of the cycle, because we're in the second week of December, we're pretty close to the solstice. Maybe it just kind of sits there, the sunset and sunrise times just kind of sit there and don't move much. And that they change a greater amount as you get closer to the equinoxes. That's my theory. All of you astronomy nerds can please let me know if I'm correct on that one. So, do you try or do you not try? I use leverage. It takes a certain amount of energy to do push-ups every day, to meditate every day, to talk with you every day. But I use that willpower very sparingly. I know I only have so much of it every day. So I make sure to use it wisely, like I said, sparingly, and use only enough to get myself into the seat to meditate. Only enough to get me to do the push-ups, whatever goal I have for the day. Only enough to get me out doing yoga, standing on one foot, having fun. That's what I'm interested in. That's what I care about. It's getting here and showing up. The results really don't matter, because if you show up for hundreds of days, if you show up for thousands of days, you're going to succeed. You're going to get where you're going. You could keep track of, I had to ratchet it up by this and this and this and this and this and this. You can keep track of how quickly or how slowly things move. Some things, like I mentioned, my push-ups, did a big jump right around the time I got over 50. I kind of jumped from 50 through 60 right on to 80, even in just the last week or two. At other times I was staying at a level for a while and getting it right, like I am right now. I think I mentioned yesterday that I'm going to stay at 80 push-ups a day for a while and really make them solid, really make them easy to do, really get to the point where I want to do more and I'm holding myself back, really get to the point where I can do them every day and not just have good days and bad days. And that's the idea. By showing up every day, you're going to get there eventually. If you take enough steps, no matter how small, over infinite time, you can get infinite distance, right? Small, finite steps added up long enough, infinitely, are infinite. The trick is to feel good about where you are right now. The trick is for me to be happy that I did them in 5 sets and not 4 today. To be happy that I showed up and I tried. And I don't mean tried like, ooh, you should try harder. Oh, is my face turning red? Yeah, that's my try hard face. But you know what I mean. It's not about trying hard on any day. If you're trying to jack the car up, going a little faster or pushing a little harder isn't going to make any difference. You just need to do it a lot of times. You just need to put that handle up and down a bunch of times. So that's really what I'm thinking about, is leverage. And I don't know how all the business people and all the self-help people mean that word, but to me, I take it to what a lever actually is, which is a way to exchange a long distance for a short distance. To say, yeah, I'll put in a good long distance of pushing that handle down nice and slow and get this distance of results, because I know I can do it again and again and again. Because this, pushing the handle down, isn't hard to do. If I tried to move the car all at once, it'd be very, very difficult. It would take me and a number of my friends to lift a car. It can be done. I've had some experience in that, but much, much easier with a jack. So remember to look at the long view. Remember to be happy right where you are, because you're in the middle of that. You're in the middle of jacking whatever it is in your life up slowly, and it may take a little while, not forever, but it may take a little while. And have that trust and faith that it's working. And whether or not you see the results you want to see in any particular day, just be glad that you showed up, because showing up long enough is guaranteed to work. This ties in with what I always say and what's becoming my catchphrase, which is that if you take all of your effort and you put it in the direction of the thing you care about most, because that, of course, opens up your effort, it opens up your desire to invest fully in something. That's why I say the thing you love the most. But put all of your energy towards the thing you love the most, And when I say all of your energy, I don't mean burning yourself out for the next day. All the energy you can have and still put in the same tomorrow. And then you put that energy towards the thing you love the most for as long as it takes. And you don't care, doesn't matter, just as long as it takes, whatever that is, whatever that becomes, doesn't matter. You do that, you're going to succeed. It's guaranteed. And not only is it guaranteed to succeed, it's guaranteed to feel really good. Because you're doing the thing you care about the most and not the thing you kind of wanted to do or not, what am I trying to say? The thing that was kind of what you wanted, but you compromised, or, I'm going to do this first, then do that other thing I really want to do later. Not that, because if you succeed at that, you won't feel good. You'll just succeed at not feeling good. Trust me, I've done it. I've succeeded at things that I enjoyed, but weren't my number one calling, and, they weren't number one satisfying. So that's the trick, is to go for what you really, really care about. For me, that's recording and talking with you every day. For me, that's putting out my genuine thoughts and feelings to try to share and someday teach the important things in life that we rarely learn. The things a lot of people don't talk about unless they wrap it up in religious language, which can be really toxic. So I hope for all of you that you're able to latch on to a steady climb upward and to feel as good during that climb as you do when you get to the top of the mountain. That's the goal. I'll see you at the top. Bye-bye.